As Atlus tends to fumble things a lot of the time, I can vouch for one thing, and it's that those Persona Did someone say Atlus fumbling things in concerts? So some of you might have known by now, or maybe you don't, that Persona Super Live will not have any announcements concerning new games on it. So I completely recorded this video and edited it in advance, and now it's completely inaccurate. So I've gone and I've trimmed the fat down a little bit to mention the concert a lot less, and talk more about the unknown Persona 5 spin-offs, as well as a little bit about Persona 6. Keen-eyed viewers may also notice that my hair is shorter here, evidence that I'm recording this after I've finished recording the other part. Anyways, on the serious note, I'm sorry for any weird inconsistencies and jumps this video might have, but I'm trying to salvage what I got because I don't have a lot of time to record new footage and write new scripts and all that. So anyways, this video is going to be about the 3 unknown Persona spin-offs that we still see registered on Atlus's domains, as well as a little bit about Persona 6. And I'll get back to you next week with something hopefully a little bit more timely and a little less disorganized. Atlus, you think you could have just confirmed this when you announced the concert instead of waiting 3 months to do it? Unless something else happened. That'd be nice. But here we are. Anyways, enjoy the video. A lot of people, myself included, have been thinking a lot about Persona 6. I want to look at this a little bit logically and try to break it down a bit first. So Persona 5 released in 2016 in Japan, and then Persona 5 Royal was starting development right after that, and that released in 2019. So there are now 6 years between 5 and 3 years between Royal, which means 6 has had ample time for development overall. It's likely they've been hard at work on 6 for a very long time, as I don't believe the team for Persona 5 Royal was as large as the whole development team for Persona 5. However, it is important to note that we can't be 100% sure about these things. As long as P6 is utilizing an engine that Atlus is used to, it shouldn't take as long to develop it as it did Persona 5. Unfortunately, we're relying on heavy theoreticals here. A lot of things have changed in game development since 2016, so it could be a longer while to wait for Persona 6. The common way a lot of people predict Atlus titles is by using website domains. Typically, Atlus registers a bunch of domains related to a title, and we try to predict it based on that. For a while, there were several P5-related domains in existence. These included p5ag.jp, p5d.jp, p5m.jp, p5b.jp, and p5u.jp. Of these domains, p5ag and p5d were not renewed. However, p5d was likely just Persona 5 Dancing in Starlight, which has a different site now that encompasses all the Persona dancing games. We never really knew what AG was, but the domain didn't get renewed, so it's probably dead in the water. But we're still in the dark about 3 of the Persona 5 spin-offs. Both M and B were renewed in December of last year, whereas P5U was renewed in May or June of last year. Well, unfortunately, we only know one title, likely, P5U. P5U is very likely Persona 5 Arena. It correlates with Persona 4 Arena, as P4UJP was the domain for that game. If you want some guesses to M and B, I'd say M might be a mobile game of sorts, and B, I really am not too sure. I mean, if we look at the list of spin-offs Atlus has asked in surveys before, it's a little hard to say. B could be board game, but I don't think they'd use an entire website for just a board game. So we're kind of flying in the dark here. Unfortunately, what it comes down to is whether all of these spin-offs are still in development, or if Persona 6 is ready and waiting to go. If this still is the development pipeline, we may not be seeing Persona 6 for a very long time. So I personally believe that you might want to cater your expectations and reel them back a little bit. And you could point out that they've registered domains for Persona 7, 8, and 9, but logically, Persona 5 would finish its spin-offs before Persona 6 is even out. So this segment was originally about the concert, but I'm going to use it to talk about something a little more important. Game development. I'm not a game developer. However, as someone who consumes a lot of work of game developers, I think it's important for us to note that there are a lot of things that could go wrong in development. If we're talking in regards to the Persona franchise, I'm sure a lot of you know, Persona 5 was announced in 2013, and it didn't get released until 2017, at least in the West. There are a lot of developmental issues that probably came up, and things we still don't know about. The important thing is that even though this concert is not going to have any new game announcements, I'm okay with that. I just wish Atlus had told us when they announced the concert, so I didn't make this video in advance. And I'm just spitballing a little bit here, but hear me out. I hope that whatever they're working on turns out great. If it means that we have to wait another month, another few years to see it, that's fine. Announce it when it's ready, instead of announcing it prematurely with a teaser that announces an announcement, as Atlus has done that in the past. There's also my grand hope that maybe they've realized that they should announce their games at places where a lot of people are watching, and maybe we'll see something at the Game Awards instead of at a concert that you have to pay money to gain access to. Nevertheless, I thought this was a little bit important to throw in here, that I'm not trying to ask Atlus or any game developer out there to push out an advertisement for your game before it's ready to be shown. On a personal level, as someone who's okay with just a few more Persona 5 spin-offs, I wouldn't really be super disappointed if Atlus doesn't unveil P6, but I'm also in the position of thinking that really one more spin-off is all we need for Persona 5. It really kind of feels like it's the right time to unveil a new game and move on from P5. And it might be weird to say that with all the games coming to new platforms, but it's been 6 years since Persona 5. The games have become immensely more popular, seeing so many mobile game crossovers as well as crossovers in some larger games. I do hope we finally get a glimpse into the future of the Persona franchise and the mainline games. It feels like it makes a lot of sense to announce P6 here, but this is Atlus we're talking about. Not exactly the most predictable bunch. But what do you think? Are you excited for more Persona 5 spin-offs? Or maybe you're just tired of them? Are you excited for Persona Super Live? Or are you just pushing that to the side? Do you want to see Persona 6? Or do you think we should just wait until they're ready to show it and we just should forget about it until it comes? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, as usual, I'd appreciate it if you leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content related to Atlus and Persona. I will probably be covering a few more videos on this. I don't know how long the train is going to go. After the announcement that they're not announcing new games at Persona Super Live, I might have to cut it a little bit short, but we'll be ending this probably around the same time Persona 5 Royal comes out on all platforms. So hope you guys enjoy that stream until then, and I'll see you guys around. Thanks for watching.